This short video presentation is to provide more details about the very unique risk management services from WMC Business Services LLC and how they can provide new resources for almost any company in the United States to help lower costs associated with their workers' compensation program. WMC Business Services LLC is a multi-line insurance agency as well as a financial services and risk management firm. While I was associated with a retro refund program based in the state of Washington, I started to develop programs outside of their safety and their claims management programs to provide additional sources of cost savings for the group. One of the main things that I have learned in my 30-plus year career in the insurance industry is the cheapest claim for workers' compensation is the one that never happened. Employers can warn and train their employees to provide the safest procedures possible, and employers can provide the cleanest and safest working environment possible. So what is missing? What is the physical condition of every employee, and how does that affect risk associated with the workers' compensation program? One of our unique programs to reduce risk is the Happy Brain Concussion Care and Wellness Care program to deal with mild traumatic brain injury and the long-lasting negative effects it has on workers on their job. As a general rule, there are approximately 15% of the general population who have issues with mild traumatic brain injury, and they do not know they even have it. So we can assume that every employer has 15% or more of their workforce with issues with mild traumatic brain injury. In higher risk professions and trade jobs, those totals could reach 50% or even more of the workforce due to the physical nature of their work and other factors. These mild traumatic brain injuries can affect one, two, or even many functions in the brain and alter an employee's abilities. There are roughly 40 workers in these pictures. There could be as many as 20 of these workers who are dealing with issues associated with mild traumatic brain injury, and their employers are not aware of which one or which combination of issues each of these employees have. And employers are not aware of the additional risk they are assuming because they are not aware of these issues. Now let's talk about cognitive reaction times and fatigue for just a moment. If an employee is working with heavy equipment or dangerous equipment, both large and small, and their cognitive reaction times are slow due to issues with mild traumatic brain injury, they could be at higher risk to injure themselves. If they are also affected by physical issues which cause them to fatigue quicker, then as the day progresses, the combination of cognitive impairment and fatigue could make the risk go even higher the longer they work. Now put that same employee when they're performing their task around others in public or even on their own team, and then the risk of injury to themselves and others go up even more. What if some employees with issues of mild traumatic brain injury are affected in more than two areas? How could that further increase risk assumed by the employer? I encourage every employer to look at how many stimulants employees use to help them get through their workday as one possible indicator of some of these issues associated with mild traumatic brain injury. Every employee, no matter their position and duties within every organization, will be at higher risk if they have issues with mild traumatic brain injury than their fellow employees who do not have issues with mild traumatic brain injury. Every workers' compensation program can benefit from reduced risk of loss with the Happy Brain Concussion Care and Wellness Care program. Now let's look at the same workers and how another program we offer can help in another way. Let's say that one of the workers in the picture has a severe weakness in their low back, and they are 5 times more likely to incur a low back soft tissue injury from a right rotational process in their job task than the rest of the workers in this picture. Let's also say that there is another worker in this picture who has a weakness in a different area of their back, and they are 5 times more likely to incur an injury in a forward bending posture during their job task than the rest of the workers in this picture. If an employer knew these issues and could modify the work process or correct or brace the employee to dramatically reduce the risk of a costly injury, could that be beneficial to an employer? The providers we work with have the tools and the training to do exactly that. Uncorrected or not addressed, these issues could lead to costly workers' compensation claims. Here is some information in an article called What Does Workplace Injury Cost by R. Gagne. The average back injury consisting of a sprain or strain can cost more than $10,000 in direct costs, and anywhere from $30,000 up to $100,000 in indirect costs. A Tennessee Department of Transportation worker who injured his back on the job was awarded $395,000, and this was above the costs associated with helping him recover from his injuries. Again, from the article, What Does a Workplace Injury Cost? The above clearly indicates why a properly constructive preventative program to prevent injuries from occurring in the first place is the primary objective of corporate America. This is a study from an insurance carrier showing how they dramatically reduced health care costs for this study group over a 7-year period of time. We utilize this program in our efforts to control health insurance costs, but the same program is also instrumental in reducing costs in a workers' compensation program. When that worksite injury does occur, the built-in protocols from this program can come into play in the first report of injury, as well as light-duty and return-to-work programs to help lower the overall cost of an injury claim. We also introduce additional tools and support programs to aid in preventing worksite injuries and faster recovery when an injury does occur. The unique programs utilized in the WMC Risk Management Services program that are specific for workers' compensation help fill in the gaps that other programs are not designed to address. Contact me to learn more how the WMC Risk Management Services programs for workers' compensation can help your company program, or your association program, or your retro program reduce risk and save money.